Some women openly say, I never text a man first. Why is that? Well, they often believe it's improper or that it makes them seem too eager. In reality, many women who hold this belief see themselves as superior to others. They take pride in it and even look down on women who initiate contact, considering them too available. From experience, I've noticed that if you initially give a little warmth, maybe a sweet message or a kind gesture, and then suddenly become less available, it triggers something in a man. It's like lighting a fuse. He suddenly becomes more eager, starts chasing, and even acts more romantic. This is what we'll be discussing today. Imagine you're talking to a woman online. You've been texting back and forth for hours, maybe even calling late into the night. The connection feels real. She understands you. You share similar interests, and it seems like things are moving in a great direction. You start envisioning a future together, maybe even thinking about a long-term relationship. And then, out of nowhere, she disappears. For men, this can be painful. He's built up all these expectations, only to be left confused. Was she just playing a game? The truth is, yes and no. At the beginning of a relationship, women often fill their emotional space with new experiences. Maybe she was just out of a relationship, bored, on vacation, or going through a phase where she wanted attention. Your conversations made her feel something, helped her escape her routine. But that doesn't necessarily mean she took it as seriously as you did. A surprising fact: a woman can be talking to you, deeply engaged in conversation, while also seeing or texting another man. This is more common than you might think. That's why you should never take online conversations too seriously before meeting in person. If she suddenly becomes distant, it's likely because someone else has filled the space you once occupied, or she simply no longer needs the emotional support. Now, let's say you actually met in person. The date went well, you laughed, had fun, and everything felt great. But then you notice something odd. She never texts first, never takes the initiative to continue the conversation. What happened? Before meeting, a woman already has an idea of who you are based on your chats and calls. That image might not match reality. Even if the date seemed fun, it could have just been the momentum of your earlier conversations carrying things forward. The real test isn't how the date itself went. It's what happens afterward. If she truly liked you, she will text you the same day or the next. Always. If she doesn't, it means she's just not that interested. It's that simple. Men often try to rationalize it. Maybe she's busy. Maybe she's unsure. Maybe she's overthinking things. No. If she cared, she would reach out. What if you've already been on multiple dates and she still starts pulling away? There are usually two reasons. The attraction was fading from the start, but it took a few meetings for her to fully realize it. Someone else, either a new person or someone from her past, entered the picture. Early dating is a delicate stage. Nothing is truly established yet, so attraction can shift easily. If you suddenly start giving her more attention than she gives you, it can throw off the balance. Many men try too hard in the beginning, following advice they've read or seen online. But then, when they get comfortable, they drop the act. Women notice this inconsistency. If you set a certain image for yourself and then fail to maintain it, she'll lose interest. That's why some relationships feel exciting at first but fizzle out after a few weeks. Think about the women in your past who genuinely loved and cared for you. They were open, affectionate, and never hesitated to initiate conversation. They didn't play "I never text first." If a woman holds this belief, ask yourself, how does this usually end? The answer is predictable. She loses interest and their relationship never moves forward. Some men argue, she still responds when I text her. She agrees to meet up if I ask. But that's not enough. Ask yourself, what happens if you stop texting first? If the answer is, she never reaches out, then you already know where you stand. Many men experience this. One day they stop trying, and after a few days or weeks, suddenly she messages, "Hey, how are you?" They get excited thinking, She finally realized my value. But in reality, this is just a brief check-in to see if you're still there. If you eagerly respond, she'll pull away again. The lesson, don't focus on winning back one particular woman. Instead, focus on yourself. If she genuinely cared, she wouldn't have let things fizzle in the first place. Work on becoming someone who naturally attracts interest without playing games. And remember, if you hear a woman say, "I never text first," take that as a sign and move on.